All right, let's get into it. In the wild world of artificial intelligence, new jobs are popping up all the time. But there's this one title that sounds more like something out of a spy movie than a tech company, the AI red teaming specialist. It's a pretty new and honestly kind of mysterious role. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain and figure out what's really going on. So this all started when we stumbled across this simple statement online. Somebody out there is actually saying, I'm an AI red teamer. They're offering their services. This isn't just some theoretical job title. People are doing this for a living right now. And that, of course, got us really curious. Which leads us right to the big question, doesn't it? What does this job actually involve? Are they hackers? Are they testers? Or are they something else entirely? Let's break it all down.
Okay, before we can really understand the job, we first have to get a handle on the problem it was created to solve. Because the truth is, for all of its amazing power, AI comes with some pretty serious hidden dangers.
This slide really shows you the two sides of the same coin. An AI that can answer your questions, well, it can also generate super convincing misinformation. An AI that can create beautiful art can also create harmful, awful content. And an AI that's a coding assistant, you guessed it, can also be used to write malicious code. The danger is kind of baked right into the promise. So you're probably thinking, hold on, don't the developers already test their own AI? And that's a totally fair question. Of course they do. They run all sorts of standard checks. But are those tests enough? Are they designed to think like a bad guy, someone who is actively trying to make the AI mess up? That's where things get a little tricky.
And that brings us to the solution. This specialized, almost adversarial kind of testing called AI red teaming. This is really the heart of what these specialists do.
So the key word right here is adversarial. This isn't just checking if the AI works properly. Oh no, this is actively trying to break it. The whole point is to find all those nasty vulnerabilities, those weird biases, and those dangerous flaws before the real bad guys have a chance to. This is probably the best way to think about it. AI red teamers are basically ethical hackers, but for AI. You know how an ethical hacker tries to break into a company's computer network to find security holes? Well, an AI red teamer tries to break the AI model itself to make it say or do things it absolutely shouldn't. And in both cases, the mission is exactly the same. Find the weaknesses so they can be fixed, making the whole thing stronger and safer for the rest of us. And this isn't just, randomly poking at the AI to see what happens. It's a really structured process. It's a loop. First, you probe the AI, you try all sorts of clever tricks. Then, once you find a weakness, you report that flaw back to the developers. But it doesn't stop there. You then help them fortify the system to close that loophole. And then you start all over again. It's a continuous cycle of improvement. Okay, so we get the theory, but what does this look like day to day? What are the actual techniques these specialists are using when they go to work? This gives us a little peek inside their toolkit. You see terms like jailbreaking and prompt injection. Those are just clever ways of tricking AI into ignoring its own safety rules. They'll spend hours probing it, seeing how easily it can be coaxed into generating fake news. They also hunt for biases and harmful stereotypes. And critically, they're looking for data privacy leaks, making sure the AI isn't accidentally spitting out sensitive information it shouldn't have. So all of this super technical work, all this probing and jailbreaking, it all ladders up to a much bigger, much more human idea. This isn't just about finding bugs in the code. It's about something way more important for our future with this technology. And this is the real takeaway. The entire point of this break it to fix it approach is to build our trust in these powerful systems. I mean, we can only really feel comfortable using AI in our daily lives if we know it's been rigorously stress tested by people whose entire job is to think of the worst case scenarios. I just love this analogy. It is perfect. You wouldn't get in a car that hasn't been crash tested, right? Well, in the exact same way, we shouldn't fully trust an AI model that hasn't been pushed to its absolute limits in a safe, controlled environment. The red teamer? They're the ones running the crash test, finding the points of failure so they can be fixed before the AI is let loose on the open road with millions of users. So let's just end with this thought. As AI becomes our partner for, well, everything from writing emails to doing research, we just can't afford to take its answers at face value. The AI red teamer makes it their professional duty to question the AI, but their work is also a great reminder for all of us that we need to think critically about this technology too. Turns out that mysterious job title might just be one of the most important roles for building a safe and trustworthy future with AI.